Grundy.
Hello everybody, and welcome to another video thing. That abrupt intro didn't scare you for Halloween, I don't know what will. This is Ben Jordan, Paranormal Investigator, but you already knew that because you are an adult capable of reading. So, I'm going to try to do a very brief little preamble for this before we get into the action here. So what is this Ben Jordan game here? Well, this is a little indie adventure game made by Grundislav Games, also known as Francisco Gonzalez. Pretty cool dude. And I originally played this game, I think, back in 2006 when I was but a wee lad of 16. By that time, of course, adventure games were very much not in vogue. So, those of us who were still adventure game enthusiasts congregated around places like the Adventure Game Studio forums and stuff like that, which I believe still exists to this day. And among those, some of the highest rated games to come out of that were the Ben Jordan series. Now, what is this series? In brief, these are some pretty campy, pretty silly little games centered around the titular Ben Jordan, an amateur paranormal investigator. This is not the... How do I want to put this in a nice way? This game is campy as hell. And I think it's very charming. I think it's a little goofy, maybe unintentionally so in places. But honestly, I don't know. To me, it just has a lot of charm to it, and the series does get a lot better and a lot more serious as things go on. But this was kind of the first... Well, that's not entirely true. This is the remake of the first game, which was kind of the first outing of this character and sort of a proof of concept. Having said that, I am very fond of this chapter. Now, first of all, let's talk about a little secret feature this game has. If you hit Control-T, you can enable voice and text at the same time. And this game is fully voiced, by the way, so you won't have to listen to my wonderful, soothing, not at all annoying voice reading the text of this game to you. But I've done enough preamble. This is not a very long game, so let's just get right on into it and have ourselves a normal human amount of scary for our Halloween festivities, shall we? Let's watch the intro.
So you'd like to hear about how I got into this mess? How a regular guy ended up half a world away, unconscious in the backseat of a car belonging to a guy he thought he could trust but turned out to be his worst enemy? But maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I should start from the very beginning. It's the best place, after all. My name is Ben Jordan. I was just your average college graduate, 22 years old, with no direction in life and a degree that got me nowhere except a sales job with a local bullseye. As a kid, I was in love with monster movies and anything to do with the paranormal. My family thought it was just a waste of time, except for my grandfather. Grandpa Arthur used to tell me ghost stories and legends he had heard while traveling through Europe in the 1920s. This really fueled my interest in the paranormal. By the time I finished high school, I was obsessed. I wanted to travel and see if the legends were true, but I had to put my dreams aside and go to college to appease my parents. I ended up studying international relations, which bored me to tears, so I passed the time by reading my books on the paranormal, listening to Pink Floyd, and dreaming of my ideal career. One day I was browsing the web and found a book called The Paranormal Investigator's Handbook by Professor Quincy Sanborn. I ordered it immediately and read it cover to cover the day it arrived. It was then that I decided I was going to become a paranormal investigator. So after graduating, I asked my parents to loan me some money, advertised my services on the internet, and sat back waiting for the cases to come rolling in.
Ah, yes, that Craigslist ad.
Of course, at the time, I had no way of knowing that the path I'd chosen was going to change my life, in more ways than one.
Case number 1, in search, the Skunk-Ape.
My first case started off with me receiving a phone call, but not one I was very happy about. No, Mom, I told you. I've decided to become a freelance paranormal investigator. I know you think it sounds crazy, but just trust me on this one. I think I've seen enough episodes of The X-Files to know that there's something out there. Look, I have to go. I'll call you back in a few days. I don't understand. It's been 3 weeks since I posted about my services on those forums. You'd think someone would have called by now. Hello? Yes, this is Ben Jordan. Sir, please calm down. I can't understand what you're saying. A skunk-ape murdering people in the Florida Everglades? Okay, I'll go there as soon as I can. What did you say your name was? Ranger Morales. Okay, I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Well, that sure was weird, but I've got a case. Time to buy a ticket to Florida.
We have a case, lads. We're going to Florida.
Hello, I'm Ben Jordan. Are you Ranger Morales?
I'm afraid not, young man. I'm glad you've arrived, though.
What's the matter? Did something happen to him?
Come with me, and I'll show you.
Oh.
Well, here he is. We found him here about an hour ago.
My God, what did this to him?
It seems that this was the work of a creature that up until now was just a legend. A monster known as the Skunk-Ape.
I guess I'd better start my investigation then.
Alright, well, we finally have control of ourselves. This is the land of Florida, where everyone wears green pants. And as you can see here, we have our typical adventure game fare. You walk, you look, you poke things, you make small talk, you ask questions, and you look at your sad inventory. Ben Jordan here brought along a gun.
You picked this rifle up on your way to Florida. You hope you make some good money off this case because buying it created a large void in your bank account.
And we have ourselves a notebook.
Your notepad and pen, saviors of your bad short-term memory.
Now, will we actually need this in this adventure?
The notepad feels crisp and new, and the pen feels like plastic.
How about the gun?
Don't play around with the rifle. You might accidentally shoot yourself.
Living the dream. Anyways, so, we are now here in the Florida Everglades, and shit got real, apparently. There's a dead ranger on the ground. Now, this guy and the narrator are both voiced by Francisco Gonzalez himself. So that's what the creator of this game sounds like when he's doing a exaggerated southern accent. Anyway, to the case. Let's look at this dead ranger.
The mutilated body of the ranger is stretched out on the dirt.
Are you okay?
Asking him questions at this point would prove fruitless.
Alright, well, I guess we gotta get our hands dirty here.
Feeling slightly nauseated, you examine the body more closely.
Oh dear, that's not healthy. It looks like he was a little excited about dying. Relatable. Anyways, so what you got going on over here, man?
The ranger's face is twisted into an expression of sheer horror. Either his attacker caught him by surprise, or he's just shocked at the fact that his innards are currently on display to the rest of the world.
And what fine innards they are.
The ranger's midsection has been torn open by whatever attacked him. Several of his internal organs are visible. However, you notice that his liver seems to be missing.
Interesting. I didn't know I knew that much about anatomy.
The ranger's mutilated and blood-soaked body is stretched out here, the latest victim of the Skunk-Ape.
Looks like there's something in his hand.
There seems to be a tuft of hair clutched in the ranger's hand. Maybe he pulled it off the Skunk-Ape as he was being attacked.
I poke his penis.
You search through the ranger's pockets, but find nothing of interest.
Let's handle his organs.
You'd really rather not handle another man's organs.
Alright, let's take that hair.
You pick it up and place it in your purse. Did I say purse? I meant pocket.
If you understand that reference, good on you. That is a reference to Laura Bow, the Dagger of Amun-Ra, and that is also where this music has been lifted from. I imagine you probably didn't know that. I did consider playing Laura Bow for Halloween, but I didn't want to be honest, I didn't want to put in that much of an investment into it. So, we found this hair.
Take a look at this. I found it in the dead ranger's hand.
Interesting. That hair doesn't look like it belongs to any animal I've seen in the park.
I am a hair expert, after all. My eyes are like a built-in microscope. I guess we should interrogate this lovely fellow and see what's been going on around the park other than the obvious.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I hope you like questions, kids.
What can you tell me about the murders?
Oh my, they're horrible. Ranger Morales is the 5th person we've found in the past 2 weeks. Before that, we lost another ranger, a young woman named Rita Myers. There was also a vacationing couple who were camping out in the woods, and the first person we found was a teenage boy who had gone out hiking. All the bodies have had one thing in common. They're all missing their livers.
Missing the livers?
Yes. Our best guess is that the skunk-ape eats the livers.
Yikes.
When the whole problem started, we found a few deer here and there with their livers torn out, but then we started finding people, and the MO just carried over.
The Skunk-Ape is a notorious liver fiend, of course. Tell me about Ranger Morales.
I didn't know him very well, but he seemed like a nice guy.
Do you know of any reason why he might have been attacked?
Not really, no. So far the murders have all seemed to be random. However, he's the first body that's been found so close to the main tourist area. The others have been further out in the woods. If this keeps up, we may have to close the park until something can be done.
I should shoot it. Got it.
What do you know about the Skunk-Ape?
I don't know any specific facts. The Skunk-Ape was always more of an urban legend. But I have heard a few things. What exactly would you like to know?
Can I shoot it?
What is a Skunk-Ape exactly?
It's similar to a Yeti or a Sasquatch, but we call it a Skunk-Ape because its trademark is a horrible smell. Some have described it as being a mix of rotten eggs, moldy cheese, and dung.
That sounds unpleasant.
It is. But the good thing is that that characteristic will make it somewhat easier to track down.
I guess.
So when has it been sighted?
Has anyone actually seen the Skunk-Ape?
The only ones who have are dead.
So there aren't any survivors or anything I could talk to?
I'm afraid not.
So if you haven't seen it, do you know what it looks like?
Not for certain, but the rumors of its appearance are all the same. It's supposed to be 7 feet tall, weigh about 300 pounds, and have a nasty temper.
Same.
Glad I asked. Are there any other animals in the park that might be capable of attacking people like this?
Not really. The Florida panther might be capable of it, but there's so few of them left it seems unlikely that they would be to blame. Besides, they usually keep to themselves.
Have you found any evidence as to what might be responsible?
The only thing we've found so far is a large footprint near one of the murder scenes.
I see. That's all for now.
Okay.
So tell me about the park. I'm really into the park.
This is a nice park you've got here.
Shame if something were to
Thanks.
happen to it.
We rangers pride ourselves on keeping this state preserve as pristine and beautiful as we can. It's really a shame that our nation's wetlands are constantly disappearing.
Yes, I agree. Can you tell me how to get around the area?
Of course. This area isn't really that big. Over there you can see the roof of the visitors center. Near that is a ranger station, and of course there's the forest too. Here, take this brochure. It's got a map so you can find your way.
Thanks. Tell me about yourself.
Me? My name is Ernie. I've been a ranger here at Everglades National Park for over 30 years. I love
pretty
nature.
young for someone who's been
I guess it
working here
runs
for
in my
30
family
years.
since my brother moved out west to become a medicine man. Aside from that, I really don't know what else to tell you.
So, I know the paranormal thing's really my job, but how about a plan?
So, now that I know more or less what I'm dealing with, what do you suggest I do?
Well, that's a good question. Obviously, we need to find out why the Skunk-Ape has decided to start killing people, and stop it from doing so again. As a park ranger, I'm morally opposed to killing it, but as it has already taken more than one human life, that may unfortunately be the only solution. I think your best bet is to go out into the forest and see if you can find out if the Skunk-Ape has a lair, or someplace it stays regularly. Of course, you shouldn't go alone, but most of the other rangers have been too scared to go out into the woods since the killing started. I'd go with you myself, but I don't think I'm up for much excitement anymore.
A lot of words
You
to
said
say
most
scared.
of the rangers were too scared to go into the woods. Are there any who aren't?
Well, there is one guy, Ranger Rick,
Oh, Jesus.
but I don't know if he'll want to go.
Tell me about Ranger Rick.
Tell me about Ranger Rick.
He hasn't been working here very long, but he's one of our best rangers. The thing about him is, he's extremely superstitious when it comes to nature. He might go into the woods with you, but he might have some weird reason for not wanting to.
Well, right now he's my best option. Do you know where I can find him?
He should be at the ranger station.
Thanks for all your help.
Well,
No
that sounds to
problem.
me like
If you have any more questions, don't...
Yeah. That sounds to me like an adventure game puzzle to me. That was a great sentence. Moving right along. So, we need to talk to Ranger Rick, and we need to venture out into the forest to find ye Skunk-Ape and absolutely not murder it. There we go. So, you might think what you need to do to leave this area is just to walk off the screen. And you would be wrong, because that's not how travel works in this game. No, indeed. You need to use this handy little brochure map.
You open up...
And that gives us all the locations in this game that we can visit. We have the visitor center, we have the ranger station, and we have the forest. Now, I don't think we need no ranger, Rick. I got a gun at Walmart. We can handle this on our own. Let's just head out to the forest. Oh, well, this is a forest, all right. A really nicely detailed down tree over here.
An enormous tree has been uprooted and overturned. You wonder if this was caused naturally, or if it was the skunk-apes doing.
Have ourselves some grass.
A few blades of grass are growing out of the ground here.
And we have this tree with some shit in it.
A large tree stands here, casting a shadow over the rest of the area. You notice a few holes in the tree's bark where there's some dried sap.
Okay, let's finger it.
The tree's bark feels slightly sticky from the dried sap that is collected on it.
Okay, well, I'm out of ideas. Let's go talk to Ranger Rick.
Yep.
This is just a cool little building. I don't know, I really love this, the way this is styled. Very comfy looking.
The ranger station is a small shack-like structure. It seems the government doesn't send much of its funding this way.
Well, let's go say hello. Hello, how are you doing today? We have some drawers, we got some posters, a radio, and Rick himself.
A young ranger is sitting on the couch reading a book. This must be Ranger Rick. The desk has a couple of drawers. Your curiosity begins to get the better of
Well,
you.
this is an adventure game, so you know we gotta steal whatever's in here.
You search through the drawers and find a box of diuretic water pills.
Cool. I will eat them.
You can't use that on yourself.
Yeah, well, it's just really showing a lack of imagination. So, how you doing, buddy?
Could I ask you about some stuff?
Sure, what's up?
You're Ranger Rick, aren't you?
Yes, I am. What can I do for you?
My name's Ben Jordan. I was called out here by Ranger Morales.
Oh, you're the Paranormal Investigator guy, aren't you?
That's me. Ernie told me I should talk to you.
Okay, so talk to me.
So, Skunk-Ape, tell me about it.
What can you tell me about the Skunk-Ape?
It's terrorizing the woods, that's what.
Anything else?
Not really. I don't think I could tell you more than Ernie probably already has.
Helpful. Tell me about them murders then.
Is there anything you can tell me about the recent murders?
Terrible, aren't they? It's bad enough to lose your co-workers, but when the public are victims too, it becomes a whole different story. Hopefully something can be done before anybody else dies so horribly. But then that's what you're here for, isn't it?
So anyway, I was talking with the guy who's not Morales about a plan.
Ernie suggested I should find someone to go into the woods with and try to track down the Skunk-Ape. He said you were the guy I should go to.
Well, Ben, I'd love to go with you, really I would. But with the sudden appearance of the Skunk-Ape, things in the woods haven't exactly been in balance lately. I wouldn't feel right going out there without some protection.
I've got a rifle.
No, I didn't mean that kind of protection.
Well, I guess we could look for a pharmacy or something? But I should tell you, that's not my thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with...
Ben, I'm talking about a nature amulet.
Oh, a nature amulet, of course.
A nature amulet?
What's a nature amulet?
It's an amulet that wards off evil spirits and attracts good-natured spirits.
So if I can get you one, will you come with me?
Sure.
Okay, so how do I do it?
It's complicated. Nature amulets just don't grow on trees, you know. The base is made from an ancient earth object, like a bone or a rock. You'll need some animal hair to make a string so the amulet can be worn. And the amulet needs to be blessed by a shaman. Got it?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, that sounds like a convoluted adventure game puzzle. We have to make ourselves a nature amulet. How's that book?
What's that you're reading?
It's part of a series about this kid who wants to be a professional fish tank cleaner.
That sounds fascinating.
This one I'm reading is part 5, where he goes to Bangladesh.
Is it any good?
Not really. It's surprising, since the author took so long to write it.
Well, I hear that tends to happen a lot.
Yeah, I can think of a few authors like that. I don't really care about the music
Okay, I'm
or
going
him,
now.
so
Get it.
let's just get on with things, shall we? We need to go on our quest to build a nature amulet. We need some animal hair, which we already got, I think. We need an ancient earth object and a shaman. That could be a little bit harder to
Yup.
find. Let's head on over to yonder visitor center and see what there's got around here. Oh, he looks like a shaman. Like the kind that sells weed.
You were taught that if you couldn't say anything nice, you shouldn't say anything at all. And now is one of those times.
How you doing, partner? Are you a shaman?
Hello.
Hey there, young man.
Tell me about yourself.
Tell me about yourself.
My name is Lloyd Daniels. I've been living in Florida for the past 20 years. I'm an active member in the community and a staunch environmentalist. Among the things I do are set up fundraisers, beach cleanups, and protests.
Cool. What are you protesting?
What exactly do you protest?
Any possible threat to the environment. You have no idea how angry it makes me to see environmental injustices committed. If I see someone so much as look at a tree the wrong way, I'll go off like a rocket.
You seem very dedicated to your cause.
And how?
So, you heard of the Skunk-Ape?
Have you ever heard of the Skunk-Ape?
Oh, you mean that fabricated story to keep us out of the woods so the developers can bulldoze their way in here and build condos behind our backs?
So you don't believe it exists?
Of course not. Even if there was such a creature, it wouldn't be in the wild for long. Poachers would probably hunt it down for its fur, jewelry would be made from its teeth, purses from its hide.
I think I get your point.
So, I get the feeling this guy is not going to be particularly helpful. Do you know anything about the murders?
Did you know that the Skunk-Ape has been murdering people lately?
Well, it's about time.
Excuse me?
Man has been murdering nature for centuries. It's not surprising that nature has decided to fight back.
Are you saying it's justifiable homicide?
Now don't go putting words in my mouth, boy. All I'm saying is, maybe this is the wake-up call people need, regardless of whether or not some made-up creature is doing it.
Yeah, you like the park?
Nice park, huh?
Nice? Nice? I don't see what's so nice about a bunch of rangers sitting around at their station eating sandwiches all day, while out here the wetlands continue to disappear by the minute.
I don't know, it seems like the Rangers are doing a decent job.
Ah, shows what you know.
See you around.
Hug a tree for me.
I will not. Good day. Well, that was, productive. Oh, good. More people. What do we have going on in here? There's a bathroom, looks like. A water fountain.
It's a drinking fountain.
Thank you for that. And we have a display
The
case.
display case contains several fossils as well as some teeth.
Fossils, you say? That does sound like an ancient Earth object.
The plaque reads, "The following items have been found in or around this area of the park."
Well, let's go yoink it.
Hey, please don't touch the display case.
Oh, sorry.
You sure?
The plaque
Well, our frizzy-haired friend here might be a bit of a problem if we're gonna steal these ancient Earth objects. Let's keep looking around. I'll talk to him later. Oh dear. What do we have over here?
It's a startlingly lifelike animatronic robot depicting a Miccosukee shaman.
I see. It's, not exactly a real person, but sure.
It's just a robot. It won't talk back.
This is before LLMs. Alright, we have a slot over
It's
here.
a coin slot, presumably for putting in coins. There seems to be something stuck in it.
I insert my penis into the slot.
You can't reach into the coin slot with your fingers.
Alright, well, what if I jam a pin into it?
You stick the pen into the slot, and whatever was blocking it falls through the machine and into the coin return below. It seems your tampering with the coin slot has activated the robot.
Hello, welcome to Everglades National Park. I am Sharpen Sawgrass, the shaman. For your generous donation, I will now give you good fortune by performing the blessing dance.
The robot begins some horrible gyration. This really is the most insulting thing you've seen in a long time.
Well, you know, if we can't find a better shaman, we're just gonna go with that. That looks good enough for me. I put very little effort into things. So I guess we can talk to this fine chap over here. So, what can you tell me about voodoo?
Hello, and welcome to the Everglades National Park Visitor Center. How can I help you?
You cannot. I'm beyond help. But I really want to talk to you about the Skunk-Ape and the Moitas.
Do you know anything about the Skunk-Ape?
Can't say I do. I've never even heard of a Skunk-Ape before.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Well, this is going to be productive, isn't it?
Have you heard about the recent murders?
I think I overheard one of the rangers talking about it. But nobody around here tells me anything, since I'm just a receptionist. I'm pretty clueless when it comes to park gossip.
That seems a little unfair.
Maybe. But if people are getting murdered, I'd rather not know about it.
Seems like a good thing to know about, personally.
What can you tell me about the visitor center?
Well, everything in here is pretty self-explanatory. I guess I can tell you more about that display case over there, and the animatronic Mikasuki in the next room.
Tell me about the display case. I'm going to rob it.
What's in the display case?
If you read the plaque, you can see that it contains fossils found near this area. Mainly it's just some alligator and shark teeth, and a couple of imprinted rocks.
Can I take a closer look?
I'm afraid not. We've had problems with tourists stealing the relics.
Tragic.
That glass case is there for a reason, you know?
Tell me about the animatronic Mikasuki.
What can you tell me about the animatronic Mikasuki?
It's a robot of an Indian. It's tacky, politically incorrect, and it gives you a blessing if you put in a coin.
I see. Anything else?
It's broken, which is probably for the best if you ask me.
Oh, worked a couple seconds ago.
Tell me something about yourself.
What for?
I don't know, I was just being friendly.
If it's all the
Fair
same
enough.
to you, I'd rather not talk about myself.
Okay, fair enough. That's all the information I needed.
Enjoy your visit.
Alright, so we need to get Frizzy Boy here out of here so we can rob the place, as you do. And, you know, all adventure game protagonists are a little bit psychotic. So, let's go take a big shit and think about it. What have we got going on in here? Looks like a fairly standard little bathroom here.
It's a toilet. They're usually found in bathrooms, are made from porcelain, and are used in activities that are best not described in detail.
Where's the fun in that? And there's some toilet paper.
You flush the toilet and get a strange satisfaction from doing so.
Yeah, toilet sounds. Let's yoink their toilet
In
paper.
a fit of kleptomania, you decide to take the whole roll of toilet paper. You never know when it might come in handy after all.
Alright, so, as we all know, every adventure game protagonist is a psychopath. So let's just start causing trouble for this poor guy for no real reason.
With childish delight, you toss the entire roll of toilet paper into the toilet bowl.
Alright, let's give that bad boy a flush.
You flush the toilet. Oh dear, it seems that your throwing the toilet paper into the toilet has caused it to become clogged.
Tragic. And if this wasn't psychopathic enough, we're now going to commit a felony. We have these, thank you, dear. We have these diuretic water pills right here. We're just gonna dump right in his drink while he's not looking.
You take the opportunity to slip a water pill into the receptionist's drink when he isn't looking. It quickly dissolves.
Oh, nice water we're having.
The receptionist takes a big gulp from his mug. For a while, nothing much happens, but then...
Oh man, that water went right through me. Excuse me a second, will ya?
Oh, he's going to have a horrible time making a pee.
Oh, I don't believe this. The toilet is broken. I have to find some place to pee.
Yes, my evil plan is coming to fruition.
Thank goodness for that tree over there.
What the? Hey! Just what in the name of Gaia do you think you're doing?
Well, the bathroom isn't working, so I thought I'd just...
Drown this poor tree in your vile waste product?
Like to think
How
his
would
dog
you
is
like
still
it if
hanging
someone
out.
decided to relieve themselves on you?
I guess I wouldn't.
Sounds
Of
like
course
he's
you
into
would.
that, I don't know.
suppose you think it's okay just because it's a tree.
Well, I mean, it's not like you can feel it.
Oh, is that what you think? I've got some information for you, Sonny boy.
The man proceeds to yell at the poor receptionist, who looks as though he fears for his life. This could go on for quite some time.
Just long enough for us to do adventure game shit. Alright, we've been gone for all of 5 seconds. Let's go ahead and break
Since the
it.
receptionist is currently occupied, you swipe a shark tooth from the display case.
Oh, but that's not enough, lads. I have an even bigger plan. Come along. So, we need to create a thing from this hair, because we can try to make like a braided rope for this to put it together, as we were told to do.
The hair is too short and bristly to be woven into a necklace. You'll need to find a way to keep it together.
I wish I could keep it together. Alright, well, since it's here, we might as well yoink this guy's sign for no particular reason.
You quickly take the sign into your possession.
And let's get the hell on out of here.
You open.
Back to the forest we go. Now, as you recall, there was some sticky-ass sap over here. Now we should, maybe use that with the hair over here.
The sap on the tree is dry. You can't get it to stick to the hair.
Oh, well. I guess we'll just have to stab it with this sign.
Feeling no remorse, you viciously stab the tree with the pointed end of the picket sign. If the environmentalist saw what you were using his sign for, he'd kill you.
Probably. And he would probably deserve it, too. Alright, let's, see if this works.
Being careful not to get any on your hands, you soak the hair in the sap.
There's absolutely no way you're doing that without getting it all over your damn hands.
You manage to weave the sticky hair into a necklace and attach it to the shark tooth.
Alright, and we have a necklace.
You've put your craftiness to use and constructed a nature amulet.
So the real question is, do we really need to get this thing blessed? I mean, not like he's gonna, like, read it, right? Let's go and take this by Ranger Rick. I actually genuinely don't know what he'll say if you try to do this, because I never have. But we're gonna find out. Right here on live TV, that isn't live. I got your amulet.
You haven't gotten the amulet blessed yet.
Yeah, well. Ben Jordan developed a conscience all of a sudden. You wouldn't want to lie to Rick about that, so. Let us go on back to the... Good job.
Yep.
You know you're in good hands, people. Alright, let's just sneak right on back into this little visitor center here. And, you know, I don't know if this counts as a real blessing from a real shaman, but... You know, what are you gonna do? Think I'm gonna put real effort into this? Come on.
You place the amulet in the robot's hand.
Alright, let's just dingle-dangle with
You
this.
reach into the coin slot and find a quarter and an odd little piece of carved rock.
Find a piece of rock. That's not a rock, that's an arrowhead.
It's an arrowhead, carved from what appears to be flint.
I see. Well, let's go ahead and put the quarter back in the thing.
With the amulet on the robot, you insert the quarter and hope this does the trick.
Hello, welcome to Everglades for your...
Okay, you don't need to hear that again.
After the robot concludes its little jig, you remove the amulet from its hand. It hasn't exactly been blessed by an authentic shaman, but you hope Rick won't notice.
Okay, well, it's got little sparklies around it now, so you know it's really, really blessed. So, let's head on back to old Ranger Rick and see if this nature amulet will do the trick. Ah, that rhymed. That'd be a terrible song. Let's get the hell on out of here.
Yep.
I sure hope that receptionist doesn't get murdered by environmentalist man. I could have given him back his sign, but I don't care. I got your amulet here.
Here, I got you your amulet.
Hey, great. Okay, we'll be ready to go as soon as I get a few supplies together.
I'll meet you outside the station in a few minutes then.
Later that afternoon.
Here we are. This area is where we found all the other victims of the Skunk-Ape.
And we're going to camp here?
Yeah, the Skunk-Ape is probably nearby. I think this will be a good place to start tracking him from.
How exactly are we going to find him?
We'll go out looking for him later. In the meantime, I'm gonna start setting up the tent. You can look around if you want, but be careful you don't get lost. It may not seem like it, but it's really easy to lose your way out there. In fact, here, take my compass. It should come in handy.
Thanks, I guess.
Yes, indeed. Naturally, we are, of course, going to go get lost. So, he has got a little backpack over here. He's got, himself. He's got a tent. Can we
Rick
help you
is
out
busy
here?
with the tent. Don't mess around with it. It feels like wood.
Alright, let's join whatever's in his backpack.
You look through Rick's backpack and find a small bottle of nasal decongestant.
Hey, Rick, mind if I borrow this for a little while?
Not a problem. Be my guest.
Why do we need nasal decongestant? I don't know. I'll be back in a little while. I kind of like the BGM here. I really like the backgrounds they did here too. It looks really, really nice. I don't know what it is about it. I guess it just reminds me of some of the places I saw when I was a kid. Anywho, this is one of those old-fashioned adventure game mazes, so... You know, this is not a typical maze, I don't guess, because you can just walk in any direction, and you will eventually end back at yonder camp, as I try to demonstrate here. Well, we ended back here. Well, at least we're not hopelessly lost. So we really need some way to figure out where we need to go. Now, we were told the Skunk-Ape smells like butt, so we're going to use this yonder decongestant on ourselves.
You spray the nasal decongestant in your nose and take a deep breath. That sure cleared out your sinuses.
Alright, what
Taking
does
a
our
deep
nose say?
breath, you notice a strange odor which seems to be coming from the west.
And now we just follow these prompts until we stop, as one does.
You take a deep breath. You think you smell something to the north.
The north it is.
You inhale deeply. There's definitely something smelly to the east.
It's Ranger Rick!
You take a deep breath.
Onward!
Taking a deep breath,
Alright, we're going west this time.
getting along.
And the south.
Taking a...
Eventually we'll get there.
You take
Oh my god.
taking a deep...
Alright, we got the point. The Everglades are huge and not very wet. Oh, looks like we found ourselves a mound.
It's a large mound made from dried leaves and grass, plastered together with mud. It definitely isn't natural. Someone, or something, built it.
Looks like we can look into the heart of darkness.
A dark entrance leads further into the mound. You can smell a faint but foul odor coming from within.
And I pull out my gun!
Shooting that with the rifle wouldn't be very productive.
Could preemptively strike. They'll never see what's coming. Alright. I mean, I wouldn't go in here if I were you, but I'm not.
Upon entering the mound, you're struck with a distinct odor of rotten eggs, moldy cheese, and dung.
Sounds
Man,
familiar.
it stinks in here. I guess I found the Skunk-Ape's lair.
What do we got over here? Looks like some fucking stains.
On the wall are some dark red stains. You suddenly get a sick feeling in the pit of your stomach.
Bones.
There's a small pile of bones on the ground. They look distinctly human.
Good day.
A large pile of dried grass and leaves is assembled in the corner. This must be where the Skunk-Ape sleeps, especially if the smell is any indication. Searching the nest, you find a large stick. It's not a very good idea to stick your hand into dark and potentially dangerous places, so you don't.
Okay. Can we take
You
the bones?
don't want anything to do with the bones. They give you a very uneasy feeling.
Alright, well we can't see down into that hole, and we clearly need to see into that hole, so... Let us see what we can do here. We have an arrowhead, we have a compass, we have a stick. Maybe we can strike sparks off the arrowhead with this compass. I just came up with that just now, and have no idea what I'm doing.
Striking the steel compass and flint arrowhead together creates a spark.
And the spark is an actual for real item that you can carry
The
around.
nest is probably very flammable, but lighting the whole thing would probably cause a massive fire, especially considering this whole place is made from sticks and
We can
leaves.
get rid of this whole Everglades problem right now.
You strike the compass and arrowhead, and light the stick with the resulting spark.
Alright, let's look down into the body pit.
Your heart beating quickly, you toss the lit stick into the pit.
It's pillows!
Rick,
What's the matter, Ben? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I found the Skunk-Ape's lair.
Was it inside?
Luckily, no. But I looked around and found a big hole in the ground. Inside the hole, I found a whole bunch of packets of cocaine.
Cocaine?
Are you sure?
Well, I doubt the Skunk-Ape is collecting sugar.
Why would there be a stash of drugs in the Skunk-Ape's lair?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, good job on your discovery, Ben. I'm sure we'll figure out the deal with the drugs.
So what do we do now?
We should check out the lair together, but I think we should wait until dark, just in case the Skunk-Ape is around.
That's
we have
a
a better
terrible
chance
idea,
of not being
Rick.
detected under the cover of darkness.
Okay, sounds good to me.
That sounds
I've just
terrible.
finished setting up camp. Why don't you get a fire started and we'll cook some dinner?
Alright, I'm on it.
Okay, so we're dealing with a cocaine skunk-ape. The worst kind.
And I realized that a career in international relations wasn't what I wanted, so I decided to become a freelance paranormal investigator.
That's an interesting career option. I don't think there'd be much call for that sort of thing nowadays. But then here you are, so I guess you made the right choice.
I've been wondering about something. Has the Skunk-Ape ever been active before this set of attacks?
Not that I can remember. I mean, there were stories about it, but never any actual evidence of its existence.
It's weird that it would just start attacking people for no reason. Well, maybe not no reason. There has to be some explanation for the drugs in the cave.
Speaking of which, I think it's about time we headed over there and checked it out. Have you got your rifle handy?
Yeah, I've got it right here.
You know how to use it, right?
Well, no, actually. I've never really fired a gun before.
You better let me carry it then, just in case we get into trouble.
This
Okay,
is a terrible
here you
idea.
Alright, let's get going. So this is it, huh?
This is it.
Are you sure it's a good idea to be going in alone?
If the Skunk-Ape is in there, I'll just come back out.
Okay, I've got you covered.
This is the worst idea in the history of ideas. You not even bring a flashlight? What the fuck is wrong with you? Alright, onward to suicide.
Much to your relief, you see that the skunk-ape has not returned to its lair yet. Suddenly, you hear some commotion outside.
Oh no, commotion! What in the fuck?
Be careful, Ben. This thing means business. Alright, you stinking ape. Get ready to meet whatever crazy entity made you.
What? You're going to shoot it?
Do you know how much the Smithsonian would pay to have one of these things on display? I can make enough money to get out of this swamp and start a real life.
But I thought you said you liked being a park ranger.
You try spending your days being bitten by mosquitoes and lectured by smelly old hippies and tell me how you'd like it.
I mean, I'd probably
Now,
shoot
if
it
you'll
too, to be
excuse
honest.
me, I have to shoot this animal.
Rick, look out!
What the?
Oh my god. Okay, well there's another
After
murder to
running for what
investigate.
feels like hours, you finally seem to have lost the skunk-ape. Now it's just a question of finding your way out of this forest.
We are now lost in the Florida Everglades. Good thing something's on fire in the distance.
There seems to be a steady plume of smoke coming from somewhere to the north.
Well, let us investigate, shall we? Oh, look at this cozy little house. Look at it.
You've arrived at a small cabin. It looks to have been here for quite some time.
This is comfy as fuck.
It's a large stone chimney. Seems you found the source of the smoke. The welcoming light through the window suggests that someone is home.
Yep. Alright, let's leave.
You don't want to venture back out into the forest while the skunk-ape is still out there.
Good point. Let's go ahead and go in.
You decide to see if anyone is home.
This is a good way to get shot in rural Florida.
Just a minute. Now who could that be at this time of night? Who is it?
My name's Ben Jordan. I'm being chased by a giant monster.
Oh yeah, that sounded perfectly reasonable.
Crazy kid. Alright, hold on a sec. Come on in.
Okay, thank you, Billy Ray
Thanks,
Cyrus.
sir. I really appreciate you letting me in.
Call me Jed. You ain't from around these parts, are you?
No, actually, I'm not.
So what are you doing out in the woods this late at night?
Have you ever heard of the Skunk-Ape?
Did you say the Skunk-Ape was chasing you?
Yeah, you know about it?
Boy, you've been living in the woods as long as I have. You've seen everything. How'd the Skunk-Ape find you anyway?
Well, I found him, actually. I was looking for his lair with a ranger from the park.
I see. And did you find it?
Yeah, we were looking into that when the Skunk-Ape showed up and killed the ranger.
You don't say. Well, Ben, I'm gonna go call a friend of mine. He'll be able to help you get out of here and back to safety. Make yourself at home in the meantime. I'll be right back.
Okay then, well he
Jed
seems trustworthy.
disappears into the next room. You're left with a somewhat uneasy feeling, particularly because you thought you noticed his attitude change a bit when you mentioned the Skunk-Ape's lair.
Yes, indeed. Well, I guess we'll just wait here. We sit down in this little chair over here by this comfy-looking little fire.
You haven't got time to sit down in front of the fire right now.
What else are you gonna do? Let's go into
Looking
the
out the
darkness.
window, you see the dark forest outside. It makes you glad to be in here.
Indeed. Well, let's leave.
While you do have a slightly uneasy feeling, you'd rather see what you can find out about this Jed character before leaving.
We don't even have our gun. Oh yeah, we still have our spark though.
Don't set that on fire, you pyromaniac.
Alright. That was my fun. Jed!
It's no use talking to an inanimate object.
Alright, well, let's go see what Jed's up to. Oh
Well,
my
I guess I
god!
told you not to come in here when I said make yourself at home.
Wait a minute. Those were your drugs in the Skunk-Ape's lair?
That's right. I was wondering how you'd managed to get away. Usually the Skunk-Ape manages to protect my stash from anyone who gets too close.
So you've been using the Skunk-Ape to guard your drugs? How?
It's pretty simple, really. I go into the city and steal the drugs for myself off the ships in the port. Then I hide them out here in the middle of the woods where the police wouldn't think to come look. One day I happened to find the Skunk-Ape's lair. It was going to do me in until I remembered I had some cocaine in my pocket.
Don't tell me you...
Yep. I gave the Skunk-Ape a little taste and he loved it. From that day forward, he was like a big stinky pet.
That's so cruel.
So I took advantage and started using his cave. I even managed to get an electronic collar on him so I could give him a little shock if he gets out of control. Or if I need to give him a call. Like right now.
You're a sick bastard, you know that?
I've been called worse. Now say hello to my little friend.
These Kool-Aids is man right on through the wall. Alright, well, can we talk about this?
There's not much you can say right now.
Good day.
Running away would surely equal instant death. You'd better stand and fight.
I pull out my protest sign.
You don't want to give that away.
I attack.
There's no way you'd win in a wrestling match versus the Skunk-Ape.
I grab Jed.
You'd rather keep your hands to yourself.
I see the
That's
cocaine.
the second largest pile of cocaine you've ever seen.
The first one was back in college. I fast travel
You're
away.
currently off the map. It was running away.
You know, we can talk about this. That is,
Well, that outcome wasn't very good. Let's try that again.
that is an image,
shall we?
alright.
Well,
Yeah, okay, we get the point. Okay, so what you're supposed to do is grab the table
Thinking
here.
quickly, you lunge towards the table.
That's some art right there. I like how Ben Jordan running is just like his walk animation.
Ben, you're back already? What happened?
It's a long story, but the Skunk-Ape won't be a problem anymore.
What about Rick?
He didn't make it.
What a shame. Well, I
Tragic.
guess you've done your job, so I'll write you a check for your services.
Thanks, Ernie. I'd stick around, but I'm in a desperate need of a shower.
Alright, Ben. Take care of yourself.
So that's how I broke into the whole paranormal investigating thing, and managed to survive it. Needless to say, the next few months will be filled with more mysteries and danger than I ever thought possible. But those are stories for another time.
And that, boys and girls, is Ben Jordan, Paranormal Investigator, Episode 1, The Story of the Cocaine Skunk-Ape. Yeah, this game is a little goofy. But it's, I don't know, it just has that charm that a lot of indie games tend to have. This game is free, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that before. When I say indie game, that's kind of changed its meaning a bit over the years. This game is made for free. You can download it. You can download the whole series and just play it. It's goofy as shit, but in a fun way. I don't know. It's one of those. Maybe it's just because I played it when I was younger, but I do enjoy this little game. I like the setting. I mean, how many games have you know of that are set in the Florida Everglades and are just built around that kind of plot, right? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie and say it's a super serious story, but it was fun. And the cocaine Skunk-Ape kind of made me chuckle the first time I saw it. And I figured I would, I've been wanting to do this game for quite a while, just because it really is on brand for what I tend to play on my channel. Shit you never heard of. Stuff you probably never hear of again. And, I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun to do for Halloween this year, even though we've already got the Ocarina of Time video scheduled for Halloween. But what the hell, it's a little extra video you can watch. Something you can put on in the background and half pay attention to, as one does. Rome, Italy.
Signora, I have good news. We've found another one.
Excellent.
Ooh, that's mysterious, and points to a grander plot somewhere else in the universe. Yes, indeed. Well, anyway, guys, that was just a quick little video I wanted to make just for shits and giggles. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Halloween. Hope you got some fun plans. Hope you're gonna go out and get shit-faced, or at least hang out with friends and do something fun. Steal some kids' candy, you know, that kind of thing. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching if you watched all the way through. And if you just watched long enough to dislike the video and move on, that's cool too. Whatever makes you happy. Anyway, guys, thank you again, and I will see you when I decide to make more videos. Hopefully you're enjoying the Ocarina of Time playthrough. See you guys later, and I will see you later. I'll see you later. Later. Later.